Consider the town of Jhajjar in Bihar, which has a total population of about 40,000 people. While it is well equipped with multiple government facilities, a particular section of society is denied access to the main temple, well, and even public transport. In fact, they have to face discrimination even in government schools, where their children are made to sit separately behind upper caste students. Nearly 14% of the village falls under this category, which is constantly being discriminated against on the basis of caste. These people are separated from society and are commonly known as Dalits. Dalit, which means physically oppressed, is the self-chosen name for classes in South Asia which are considered untouchable according to the ancient Varna system of Hindu mythology. According to the census in 2011, 25% of the total population of India is Dalit. This is more than the total population of the United States of America. According to the Hindu system, a Dalit status is associated with occupations which are regarded as ritually impure, such as butchering, manual scavenging, removal of rubbish, etc. In fact, most manual laborers cleaning streets, toilets, and sewers are Dalits. Though our constitution, under right to equality, guarantees social equality and equal access of public facilities to everyone, Dalits in most villages are banned from using these public facilities, as it is believed that this will pollute the village's resources. Talking about their economic conditions, 37% of Dalits live below the poverty line as compared to the national average of 24.7%. According to the census in 2011, the literacy rate among Dalits is 63.8% as against the national average of 73%. In 2014, more than 47,000 crimes were registered against Dalits, an increase of 19% from 2013. In one such incident reported in Haryana, a father and his daughter were burned alive. A mob of 300 to 400 upper caste Hindus burned down 18 houses of Dalits in the village of Mirchpur. Media reports quoted that the dispute was over the trivial issue of barking of a dog. It was later found that the attack was pre-planned and allegedly the police was also involved in the violence. The previous decade in Mirchpur had seen the economic advancement of Dalits, with available labor jobs in the nearby district of Jind, and by getting other contracts, they were nearly economically independent from upper caste Hindus. The progress of the Dalits didn't go down well with the upper castes, and they were getting more resentful day by day. On the night of 19th April 2010, 10 to 15 drunk upper castes drove into Dalits' basti on their motorbikes, creating a rumpus in the night. One of the Dalits' dogs started barking at the revelers, in retaliation to which an upper caste hurled a brick towards the dog. A few Dalits intervened to solve the disruptions, but they were beaten up harshly. One of them was even admitted to the hospital. Even when the local Dalits tried to lodge a complaint in the nearby police station, the officials there paid no attention to them. On the morning of 21st April 2010, the local SHO, who is believed to be closely linked with the upper castes, called upon the Dalits for a compromise meeting at the local Chaupal. While the Dalits gathered for the meeting, 300 to 400 upper castes surrounded their colonies and burnt 18 comparatively wealthier houses. They also went on to loot the Dalits' cash, jewels, clothes, and everything else. The Constitution, under right to freedom, says that no person can be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. Despite this, such killings happen 13 times every week. A crime against Dalits is reported in every 18 minutes, which includes 27 atrocities every day. Even education is not spared from such discrimination. The right against exploitation clearly abolishes child labor, but still, Many Dalit children have reported that teachers or community members force them to clean toilets and classrooms of schools. The Constitution of India has clearly condemned such oppression. However, while it has provided each individual with certain rights which prevent him or her from being dominated by the more powerful, the reality seems to be quite different. Even after 66 years of framing the Constitution, the Dalits are yet to see a dawn when they can call themselves fully liberated and living in total harmony with others.